Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all fandoms, welcome to the Ferret Raccoon podcast, episode 81. I am Ace.
And I'm the Young Raccoon.
It's the first podcast of February. January just blurred past.
January was like nothing.
I know, it's weird.
To me, it felt like nothing. It was very eventful.
Yeah.
Because usually the beginnings of years are very slow and everyone's kind of just getting off the previous year, but it's been so fast.
It's been a non-stop kind of ride.
Yeah, even to the point, I think, kind of talking about some of the stuff that's happened, I even said to Ace, wow, it's like 2018 is already over.
Yeah, exactly.
There's already enough highlights to where it's like, I don't need anything else.
Yeah,
it's already memorable.
Done. Move on to 2019
in positive and I guess you could say negative ways as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we are here, and this is going to be a very odd podcast, which we'll get into later, because we are actually going to be changing things up, especially on the channel and over the course of the next few weeks and that. So we're going to do things slightly differently, and you'll see, and hopefully you guys will let us know if you like any of said changes and that. But I guess, what have you been up to, Ace? How's things been going?
Well, I've had quite busy stuff, family related at the moment, and other than some other things, it's mostly been stay at home. So I've been watching lots and lots and lots of films. Mm-hmm. Far too many to talk on this, unless it's just a My Films podcast.
That could be a spin-off.
Yeah, exactly. But I've decided to just cut it down to 4 most memorable films that I've seen. Mm-hmm. And the first one I want to talk about by Shion Sony, who I've talked about... Sorry, Sono. I've talked about his film Love Exposure before, which the 4-hour one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is his film Anti-Porno.
Okay.
And it's ridiculously amazing. Probably one of the best films I've seen in a while. Without getting into spoilers, the premise is about a renowned artist who's pretty kind of crazy because she's talking to her dead sister as she kind of abuses her staff. And that's just where it starts, and I can't go into more after that.
Okay.
But it is beautifully shot and ridiculously memorable.
Sounds pretty interesting. I've not heard of the film, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of people haven't heard of Shion Sono just in general, but almost every film I've seen by him, I think 4 or 5, they're amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Okay.
The next one is Brawl in Cell Block 99.
I think I've heard of this one.
Yeah, S. Craig Zala, starring Vince Vaughn. Mm-hmm. And I've seen his previous film, Bone Tomahawk, which I've also talked about. Really good. And I was shocked by this film. It starts off really slow, and I was like, oh, it's going to be one of those. Just forget about it. But then the action comes in, and it's brutal and disturbing in the best way possible.
Oh, damn.
I was kind of shocked by that. And some films are some moments are really grotesque, and there are bits with bad special effects, but they help the grotesquerie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really weird in that way, and I kind of loved it.
It's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I highly recommend people for this. Definitely a very midnight, almost grindhousey film.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. Don't watch it with your grandparents.
Yeah, it's not one for grandma.
No. Unless she likes that kind of film. Another film you don't want to watch with your grandparents being The Greasy Strangler.
I don't know. As soon as you said Grindhouse, I kind of was immediately thinking of that film for some reason. So I'm actually quite surprised you're actually going to talk about it.
Yeah, I've been in a very grindhousey mood lately.
Fair enough.
But it's a film by Jim Hoskins. I don't think I've seen anything by him before except for a little bit on ABCs of Death 2. But I can't remember what bit it was. So I'm just going to have to forget that. But it's essentially about the story between a father and a son, their relationship as they do a kind of tour guide around the town, and a stranger is going around strangling people, and he's all greasy. And it's so beautifully weird, I love it.
Yeah, this is one that's still on my list, because we did talk about it on the podcast many podcasts ago, but yeah, I am really... I don't know, I'm glad to hear that it's good, because I know it's had a very mixed reception, but then again, it is a Grindhouse. Mainstream does not like Grindhouse. They just think it's just rubbish, Transformers best film ever.
Oh yeah,
that kind of stuff. Yeah. But yeah, it's good to hear about it again, to keep it fresh in my mind, I guess you could say.
One bit, every time it pops up, I cannot stop laughing, and I hope it's the same bit for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you've watched it, definitely let me know.
Yeah, it's definitely on my list.
And the last film, I got to see an early screening of The Shape of Water by Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
And I did like it. It was really nice. I'm trying to not use the word because everyone uses it, but it was very charming. The modern fairy tale, as everyone says.
Yeah.
The acting was great. Michael Shannon's fantab. I was surprised. That was a weird word, fantab, but yeah, he was great. Everyone in the film was amazing. I think it's weird with me and Guillermo del Toro films because I like them, but I'm always a bit... And I'd say this is a middle one for me.
Okay.
I like the Hellboy films more.
All right.
But I like it more than Pacific Rim and Crimson Peak, for example.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is still recommended. Very, very good moment.
And I guess Pan's Labyrinth is still up there.
I still haven't seen that. I know.
What?
I know.
We need to watch that today.
It is what I need to watch.
You do.
But yeah, that's basically been all the... I'd say talk about films.
Okay, yeah.
There's been so many that were okay or just a lot of bad ones.
We can talk about them after and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good to hear. Anything else you want to kind of talk about that's been eventful in the week? In terms of like things you've watched and that.
I can't really think of anything at the moment.
Fair enough, because I've kind of had like... obviously I didn't watch any films.
Yeah.
But I did... Like, I was on my anime.
Yeah.
I was on my anime tip, basically. Because I am working on a new video to do with new anime. So I've been watching a few of them down. A few I want to talk about is one that I think everyone should watch, or at least attempt to watch. Maybe not the first episode.
Yeah.
But definitely watch, and that is Pop Team Epic.
Yep.
The series that came out that took the world by storm, kind of became a meme, embraced the fact that it was a meme, made fun of memes, and then became its own thing again.
Yeah.
This show is the one. That's what I'm gonna say for now. It's really good.
Yeah.
And to not spoil my comments, because I have a really nice theory as to what the series is about. I think a lot of people don't know why it's funny and don't know why it's good and don't know what it's about, because it is actually about something.
Yeah.
And to kind of put it bluntly, it's essentially a comedy that's about anything and everything.
Okay.
And it does it so well with its humor and its nonsensical imagery, and the fact that it is just really just pushing how far it can make fun of itself, the anime genre, and just pop culture as well. There are just segments in here that make absolutely no sense. Yeah. And that's the point. They're not meant to make sense. And how the creator came up with some of these things is beyond me. I do love the animation changes for no reason. Some of them are very good. Some of them are ugly as hell, but that's the point.
My favourite is the Bob's Team Epic bit.
Thing is, I have a love-hate relationship with Bob's Team because the animation is so bad and it's so ugly to look at, but it's some of the funniest moments.
It's my favourite thing in the whole show.
I kind of like the more, without spoiling it, I like the more stop motion.
Okay.
And I'm not going to spoil what exactly it is, so please go and watch it. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving it. I also love the first episode for how intentionally bad it is, because it does kind of trick you in more ways than one, which I thought was very clever. And just goes to show the show is a lot smarter than it actually presents itself to be. Which is great. Another anime I've watched, because I'm not going to talk about all the animes I've watched, because I still want to reserve comments for the video I'm going to make, is Darling in the Franxx.
Oh, no.
One of my most anticipated animes of 2018, if you listen to the Best and Worst podcast where I was on my own. I got to be honest, because I'm not really enjoying it.
No, it's not that good.
I'm rather disappointed, I'm rather frustrated, and I'm rather angry at this series, because there are some really good things in this series. Like...
really great art design.
Great imagination coming from the series. I mean, they are actually really doing something kind of funny and unique with the mecha genre. Their suits are really cool. I like their kind of astronaut-like suits. I love I'm not going to spoil how exactly them in the robot works. It needs to kind of be seen. I'm not going to spoil that. But it is really funny. It has a very interesting theming, and it just works. I mean, I love that. And I love these kinds of stuffs. Almost everything else is letting me down. The fact that almost all the characters are really bad in the sense of they're extremely unlikable. And not in the sense of you have the unlikable character, but everyone else is coming off as very unlikable, and I'm not really understanding what's going on in the series. The whole cast is useless, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to do the first F-bomb of this series, but I've kind of already put this in my notes. The thing with the series is it's kind of like, it's the reverse of Shinji getting the fucking robot.
Yeah.
Instead, it's, I have to get into the robot.
Yeah.
But the problem is, when we get into the robot, the series goes, nah, forget that. Let's get out of the robot and talk about the robot.
Mm.
And that is one of the biggest problems of the series is... Look, I'm not saying I just want to straight up action within the robot and they're arguing with each other, oh, we're going to beat the robot. No. You can talk about the mission you're going on, or the bigger threat, or issues with... You know, we need to be a team, we need to pilot. You can do that kind of stuff, because I've seen that done in better animes, older animes, newer animes that aren't even strictly mecha animes.
But you need to move it along.
You need to move it along. I'm a few episodes in, and so far there is no real threat. There's no real reason to care other than I want to look at the robots again. Yeah. But you keep going, no, you can't look at the robots. And that's the problem. There's so much to like here, but there's so much to also hate. And it's really annoying me. Yeah,
it's just one of those shows that I'm going to forget about because I'll find better stuff.
And the thing is, it shouldn't be forgotten about because there's things here.
Yeah.
There's enjoyable things here. Like we said, the level of design, imagination, the animation is pretty good for the most part. And it's really just, I don't want to spoil things because I know I could go on a 10-minute rant about everything that just doesn't make sense in this series. But yeah, it's rather disappointing. It's coming from one of my favourite Japanese animated studios as well. And it's just like, I have my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it can pull through, but I don't know. Right now, I'm not feeling it. And cue everyone going, oh, you just don't get it. You just don't get the religious theming in it. Oh, you're just a hater. You didn't even watch episode 10. Is that, well, of course I didn't watch episode 10. If you check the date, it's episode 10 even out yet.
Exactly. Like 4 episodes are out at the moment.
Yeah. You know. The last thing I want to talk about is actually an album, because I want to talk about music more. Okay. And that is going to be Rich Brian's Amen, which dropped about, as of this podcast going up, about 3 days ago. And I've listened to it a good few times, and it is pretty good. I am really happy and really impressed with how he's progressed as a rapper and how he's kind of got his own style, because even on this album, he has kind of like a very comedic, deadpan, kind of tense like way of rapping in some of his songs. Like this is an album where he is kind of rapping from the heart and kind of talking about himself and his life, because he is coming from a very interesting place. He's an Indonesian rapper who essentially, as people are kind of buzzing about, he learned how to speak English just through watching YouTube.
Damn.
He was very much interested in certain people and just was like, I want to speak English, I want to learn about this. And you know, he does rap in English, and it is kind of interesting because he speaks very good, although he does kind of have like an intentional twang on some of the stuff he talks about, especially when he's talking about how in one song he wants to be left alone. He kind of says, I'll put the do not disturb sign on. And there are some great moments. There are a lot of great comedic lines on there. Like one of the songs starts with him saying, oh, Brian, this is your grandma, I just want to talk about the old days. You have a moment to speak, and and there are great lines where he's, there's one line I do like where he's saying, rapping over this instrumental and feeling like a hero, and stuff like that, which is great. And even the meaning of the album Amen is actually, you have to listen to the very end to actually get it. And I will say, spoilers for a show that finished a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
So if you haven't finished a certain show that gets mentioned, maybe you can stop there, what I'm going to say. But it is quite funny. I would say it's worth listening to that. It kind of completes the album. But it's a really fun album. I mean, Joji's on there. And nice. He sings the chorus on one of the tracks, and it really does work. There isn't really much to like other than there's one moment on the album where one rapper comes in and whatever he was recorded on, it sounds very different. And it takes me out for a sec.
Okay.
His verse is great, but it's like, I don't know, he sounds like he's at a lower volume than Brian, and I'm kind of like, oh, okay.
They filmed him on a Nokia phone.
Maybe. It feels like that, but it's nothing to really make me go, oh, that's a 6, you know?
Yeah.
It's nothing to really bring it down. It's got some great instrumentals, and it's actually very surprising as to what is actually on this album. And yeah, I guess I can kind of wrap that up in terms of things I've been doing other than planning my holiday.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's something I neglected to mention intentionally. I'm going on holiday in a few days' time as of this recording. In 5 days' time as of this recording, so it's quite scary to actually say that.
Yeah.
Where am I going? I'm going to Japan.
Nice.
For a few days.
Brilliant.
So given how long I'm going to be gone for, I'm not going to say how long I'm going to be gone for because it's my holiday. Yeah, I'm not going to be on the next podcast. Podcast 82, I'm not going to be here. So Ace and whoever else is going to be covering this podcast, and I'm going to say this now on this recording, I want that podcast done.
It will be done.
It needs to be done. I don't want to be getting back and being like, we've done the podcast. No, it needs to be done. I don't care. It has to be done.
It will get done.
The only thing I'm going to be in charge of is just making sure you have the right equipment, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you guys go and do that. Am I going to film in Japan? Yes. Am I going to take photos in Japan? Yes. Are we going to be doing some crazy things in Japan? Yes. The only hint I'm going to say, and I'm going to use a sample from one of my favorite albums of all time, I Was in Another World, a world of 20,000 girls. That's the only thing I'm going to say right now.
Fair enough.
if everything goes according to plan. But and that's essentially everything. I've just been planning. Just been planning this trip. Like, you want to plan a lot, but not too much. Because, like I said, I could say, oh, I'm going to go to Shibuya and I'm going to go here, and here, but I probably won't do that, you know, because lo and behold, there'll probably be a parade there.
Oh, yeah,
or something like, you know, that's how things work out. So it's how it's no matter what you do, you can't plan too much because you'll never be able to follow your plan, simply put. But yeah, that's all I've been up to. But even still, our fortnight has been quite busy, not just with the tons of films you've watched and my anger towards anime. It's been a crazy kind of 2 weeks since the last podcast, and we kind of wanted to, on a slightly newer segment, kind of talk about some of the stuff that has actually happened over that period of time. And the first one is essentially the 60th Grammy Awards, which pretty much had everyone angry.
Yeah, I was about to do like a boo.
You're too right to do that, because the awards happened, and I think the biggest thing to take away from this, the biggest annoyance, which I think almost everyone is kind of, even the fans of this certain artist is kind of annoyed, was that Bruno Mars was the biggest winner of this, which I completely do not agree with.
Yeah.
He won too many awards, and especially in categories he doesn't deserve, especially Album of the Year. Like,
I didn't even know he had released a recent album. I mean, I'm not the one who follows music that much comparatively, but the fact that I didn't know that is kind of weird.
Yeah, but still, even if you didn't know that, I think we can all agree he didn't deserve that many awards, especially one Album of the Year. No. Simply put, no. Not against like Jay-Z's 444 or Kendrick Lamar's Damn, or even Childish Gambino's Waken My Love. Yeah. No, certainly not. You know, Record of the Year, Song of the Year. You know, I mean, no. Well, yeah, he didn't win. He didn't deserve any of those for the most part, and I think a lot of people definitely got like scrubbed for the most part. Yeah. I think SZA didn't win anything. Not Best New Act. Not anything to do with R&B. Just. That's stupid. Simply put, I really don't understand that. There's very few things I can kind of agree with in terms of winners, other than everything Kendrick won. I guess he kind of deserved to win, not really for the album itself, but more for the fact that it's Kendrick Lamar and he is doing good things. I can say that. I mean, Kraftwerk won an award for Best Electronic Album. They deserved that.
Did Father John Misty win one?
Nope.
No.
I don't know if he won anything, actually. I think he won something, but I think it was like some miscellaneous thing that didn't even make sense regarding his actual album. Father John Misty should have walked away with something. Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure I remember reading somewhere he just said "fuck society" or something.
But at the same time, I think even if he won something, I'm pretty sure he would have just dashed the Grammy to one side. Honestly, because it's not what I mean, all the stuff here, there is some good stuff that was nominated for it, but there was way more interesting stuff that really should have been here. I mean, I think one of the bigger ones was definitely best rap album of the year. That was definitely a more odd one for a lot of people because looking at the categories on the people know, and I'm trying to find it because there's just so many like artists in that. So yeah, best rap album. You had Jay-Z's 444. You had Kendrick Lamar's Damn. You had Migos with Culture. Layla's Wisdom from Rhapsody, and Tyler the Creator's Flower Boy. And of all those, I definitely think Tyler the Creator should have won.
Yeah.
And even kind of going on his comment regarding who should win, he kind of said he deserves to win. And he kind of very comedically put it as, oh, XXX was from Kendrick Lamar's album was one of my favorite songs, and Jay-Z, you already have awards. Flower Boy was something different.
Yeah.
That's why it should win. And I kind of get that. Compared to everything else, Flower Boy doesn't really sound like a rap album.
No, it really doesn't.
And I think that's why it's as good as it is, and why it deserved to like at least win something. And even then, just to use an example, best rap albums are way more better. Migos should not be there.
I didn't even know who that was.
You don't need to know who that was. In my opinion, it's just garbage trap music.
Oh.
Which is quite funny, actually, because this week they released Culture 2 is already out.
Wow.
The sequel to the Grammy-nominated Culture 1.
Wow.
And weirdly enough, Culture by Migos is a very short album. Culture 2 is over an hour and a half of trap music. Recorded in less than a year.
Wow.
So I wonder how good Culture 2 by Migos is.
It's going to be Grammy nominated.
No, it's not. Funny enough, recently when asked why the album is so bad, Migos said, we spent less than 45 minutes per track.
What?
Supposedly, yes.
Wow.
Some songs were made, finished, written, rapped, produced in less than 45 minutes. So you can do the math on how long that album took to make.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just going on the hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't deserve to be. I'm shocked that I would have honestly swapped out them for Big Crit with Forever Is a Mighty Long Time, which was a much better, fantastic like southern hip hop like rap album.
Yeah.
And so anything else you want to add to this? I mean, I know music isn't really your thing per se, but obviously it's a part of the discussion. Music is important in that.
Honestly, I was just really shocked by most of what I heard from people, and I think the best one was the one you said about, was it the director of the Grammys saying that women need to step up or something?
Yeah, it's like the guy who's in charge of the Grammys, or one of the leaders of the Grammys, he was like, in regards to music in 2017, I could say, yeah, women need to step up. And you can look at the list of how many females were nominated for awards. The two more stick-out ones being Lorde and Rhapsody. And that's an incredibly unfair statement.
Yeah.
Especially soon as, obviously, we know damn well, the people who decided what should be up for nomination did not listen to a lot of music this year. Simply put.
Mostly the mainstream stuff.
Mostly the main, like, there's some stuff which is surprising, like Father John Misty, that's surprising. Rhapsody, that's surprising, because I thought no one had heard that album. Even Jay-Z's 444, that's a weird and interesting album, and I'm surprised it's there.
But it's attached to the Jay-Z name, so...
Yeah, it's attached to the Jay-Z name, but even he's not as popular as he used to be. So I'm still surprised he's there. I mean, granted, his last two albums weren't very good, so it's kind of like a comeback. But yeah, it's just an unfair statement. It just kind of proves that you're coming from a very sexist and incorrect opinion, and it just further, it further just brings up discussion of we don't need the Grammys. Awards are just complete garbage. It's nice sometimes to really go, yeah, you deserve, for your hard work, you deserve that. We're going to respect you. We're going to give you some more, hype and attention and that. But when it's like this, it's aggravating.
And I think this is what one of the problem with award ceremonies in general ends up being. A lot of time it just feels like they're promoting the biggest seller. And that's
what they are. Bruno Mars.
Yeah. And, it's same for games and films and stuff like that. I mean, film a bit less so. They're usually really just drama films. Yeah. And that's about it.
Oscar bait.
Yeah. And it's like, promote some more creative stuff.
Yes, there needs to be more categories where it's like, the thing is, as much as it would be a bad idea, it still could be a good idea. You really need to let people actually vote.
Yeah.
Granted, we could have done a vote for this one, and Bruno Mars probably would have got the same outcome. But I guarantee you, things would have changed because there are people who don't just write off new music as just garbage. There is good music always being made, as well as bad music, and I think we would see a much more fairer, kind of thing. Even if they decided who was going to be nominated and we voted, trust me, Bruno Mars wouldn't have won.
Yeah,
most of this
not.
stuff. I think Kendrick would have got most of it, and people who rightly deserved the stuff would have, because I think the people who actually listen to music and actually like music today will speak louder than the people who are raving over Migos' culture too. Simply put.
I think I can't remember what award show it was or something, but there was a gaming one, and I saw that Quadrilateral Cowboy was on there, and I was like, I need to vote for this game. So I did, and then I think I sent the thing to you and to another one of friends and my brother to get them to vote for it as well, and I think it actually ended up winning. Yeah, and I was like, yes,
because it deserved to. It's a really fun game.
Yeah,
it's
very creative. Yeah. So yeah, it's just one of those things of sometimes letting the people vote can help, especially for the more indie.
I mean, I understand with a lot of corporations, higher up powers, they don't want to give the people the power. That's the whole point of why they exist and why they're in there in the first place. But still, you're going to consistently keep getting called racist and sexist and homophobes until you do. Simply put. Yeah. If you are getting really annoyed of being called those labels, and let's be honest, pretty much are. You fall under at least one of those. Yeah. Maybe trust me.
You should stop being those things.
I mean, for example, Macklemore won Album of the Year a few years back, Rap Album of the Year. And I think Macklemore felt so bad about it that he actually apologized to Kendrick. He didn't need to.
Yeah, I know.
But he was like, "No, I'm sorry. You really should have won Album of the Year." Yeah. And stuff like that. Because they gave it to him because it's like, obviously someone was going, well, he's a white guy and he raps, so therefore we need to promote him, and I am so sick of black people dominating this thing I don't understand.
It's now safe for me to consume.
Well, rap is to some extent, and it's good because it's rap for everyone.
Yeah.
Which is what we want. What we need. But yeah, what else happened? I think we had two of the biggest games drop.
First one being Monster Hunter World, which I still haven't picked up yet, but I should be soon.
You will be,
because I really need the game.
As soon as the stop button.
Yeah. But so one of the really cool things I did want to say, it sold about 1.5 million 1.55 million in Japan alone in the first few days. Yeah. And Capcom definitely seemed to be very confident in it because they shipped 5 million worldwide. So that's pretty good to hear from this.
That is good. It's very rare that AAA games actually surpass 2 million.
Yeah. So
I mean, Cuphead did.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, and I think this game is probably going to hit a nice 8-9 million. I can see.
It's barely been out, which is brilliant, and it just looks so good.
It is. It's a game.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it.
Its focus on the mechanics and the systems.
The gameplay.
It's perfect in that way. Obviously, I haven't played it yet, but I can't wait to dig in and actually to mess with it. Yeah. Because it looks fun.
I've looked at very little because I do intend to play it at some point. But I'm very happy that we've actually got a good game. I'm kind of happy that hopefully more people are kind of going to go, hey, that game ripped off Monster Hunter. Not ripped off. Like, as much as I don't like Hero Dawn Horizon.
Oh, Horizon Zero Dawn, yeah.
It's, I think people are going to go, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Zoom in.
Enhance.
What's that? Sniper on the roof. I think we're going to get a lot of that, and kind of ties into something else we're going to talk about in a minute. And we also had Dragon Ball Z FighterZ.
Oh, it's Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was just calling it Dragon Ball Z FighterZ.
Yeah.
Because I think that just makes more sense. But
it does make more sense.
But whatever, we actually got a really good fighting game this year.
Yeah, even one that I would say cool.
Yeah.
Which is rare.
And we don't really care about Dragon Ball Z. No. I don't care what you're going to say. I don't care if I'm a loose subscribers or dislikes or whatever. Dragon Ball Z is not as good as Dragon Ball. And Dragon Ball Z is just, especially Super, is just rubbish.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Darling in the Franxx. over Dragon Ball Super.
Alright, I'm not going that far. I can't go that far.
Well, let me put it this way. There's more interesting stuff in Darling in the Franxx than Dragon Ball Super.
I don't know, Dragon Ball Super has characters I remember, even if they're used terribly.
But we're talking about Super. Did they debut in Super?
No, but member berries.
No.
I remember this character.
Then it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
I can't say Darling in the Franxx was better. It's physically impossible.
I can.
Fair enough.
I can, because there's creativity. Simply put.
Fair enough.
And effort. And good animation.
Dragon Ball FighterZ. It's that auto combo system. I love that. It's very noob friendly, which I promote heavily. If something's good to get people in the door, but hard to master, you've done it.
That's basically gaming.
Yeah, that's good game design in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's basically the Marvel vs. Capcom 4 we should have got.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even looks better than it.
Yeah, it doesn't look ugly.
I
can just put them beside each other.
There's no ugly Dante or Chun-Li's here. Yeah, I know they patched that, but still.
Like, the one that got me the most was 4. His face looked like some weird blocky meat flesh. It was terrible, terrifying.
But those DLC characters, though, aren't you excited to play as Winter Soldier and Scarlet Witch? I know I am. And Venom? Man, Venom's debut was so good they had to change his voice actor because he was so good.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because they came up with a very comedic, like, Venom where he's like, oh man, I'm going to destroy you, whoa, crazy. Like, because someone mistook Venom for Carnage, apparently. So they changed it to make it a little bit more like he's actually a villain instead of a joke.
That's quite amusing, actually.
It is. It's very amusing. The comparison is hilarious.
Yeah.
But good game. Android 21.
Yeah.
The best.
Pretty good design. Labco Android is my favourite.
Android, although Majin 21 is still enjoyable. Good personality. Yeah. Although she's basically Majin Buu, but like still she's better than Majin Buu in my opinion.
Fair enough.
Not normal Buu.
Yeah.
Better than Kid Buu, obviously.
Yeah. A lot better than Kid Buu.
A lot better than Kid Buu. But yeah, I'm liking that character a lot.
Yeah. A lot of dedication and almost obsessiveness
to it. It makes you proud to be a fan of Dragon Ball Z because it's just a love letter, and also a fan of games and fighting games.
Yeah.
Simply put, because it is doing a lot of great things, and there's such great details like throwbacks to the actual anime.
Yes, definitely.
And really nice bits of detail. Like for example, whenever one of your characters is knocked out, they kind of come in the charge, you little clash right there, which is great.
You know what the best part about this? I don't think anyone said it. But the really cool thing is, when it comes in, they clash everything. It's basically resetting the match in that bit, so no one's one-sided.
Because they bounce back and they're like level-sided, which is great.
It's actually really good design.
And it's a good bit of animation, and it's just swift. It's no like loading screen, cut to black, just boom, back. Yeah. Keep going, guys,
Yeah. I think there's a lot of cool little things in there, and I'm going to be looking behind the scenes at some of the stuff.
Yes, I think there's definitely a game that has a good lasting shelf, because it's just one of the only games where I'm like, yes, give me the DLC, give me the characters. I think they are going to be free for the most part, maybe. Nice. But at the same time, I really don't mind. Yeah. They deserve an extra £1, in my opinion, if you want that character. Yeah. But at the same time, roster's great as it is.
And if they eventually do have DLC characters, just do an Ultimate Edition for me. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I want to see 15 more characters in this game, because I already know you have more than 50 characters in the Dragon Ball Z series.
Invent some new guys too.
Exactly, yeah, more new characters. More androids.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Give me Android 69. Nice.
I don't know if they don't go up that far. It's only got to 30, I think.
They just invent it.
But who knows? Who knows? But yeah, and the last thing, still sticking with games that was quite eventful. It only lasted like 3 days, you were telling me. So, I thought it was just something that was just out for a while.
So did I, and I missed it. This was a Metal Gear Survives beta. It was from January 18th to the 21st.
A game that has been dead for exactly 1 year.
Basically, it came out to Xbox One for those days, everywhere.
What's an Xbox One?
It's a kind of old machine that people don't care about.
Oh,
but
okay.
It came to PS4 everywhere but America for those 3 days on the beta, which was weird.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen from beta, it's a bit more of, like, basically it's the same kind of gameplay. It's a mixture of survival, horror, stealth, almost tower defense-ish, related against these crystal zombies, and similar gameplay to Phantom Pain, Ground Zeroes. I'm fine with that. I like those games. I like the gameplay, and it emphasises usage on lethal weaponry, which wasn't the best thing for those games.
But do you like microtransactions, though?
I don't. I don't think anyone does.
Because to me, it's just microtransaction in the game. Like, the very skeletal presentation... Look, I know it takes place in the desert.
Yeah.
And I know it's unfair to say that, but still. The very skeletal presentation, the fact the game... I know it's a beta.
Yeah.
The fact the game looks like garbage. The fact that there is no real story right now.
Yeah.
And nothing to honestly really do in this game. Even Fortnite, a game that basically does this better, there's nothing there. There's no real reason for anyone to buy this game. I mean, are you not you particularly, are you seriously going to go Monster Hunter? No. Fortnite? No. Dragon Ball Z? No. Metal Gear Survive? Yes, that looks like the game for me.
I think it's been released at the worst possible time.
You mean till the end of time?
No, it really needs a month where there's nothing coming out.
But the problem is, it won't get released for another few years then. There is something worth playing and discussing and talking about that isn't going to immediately get destroyed coming out every month.
And this is where I want to say something. This is a good time for games then.
Yes.
It's really good.
Yes.
And I'm so happy. I literally have a list of about 30 or 40 games that I'm looking forward to.
I have 4.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I've even got one of them. Ichronets. Iconoclasts, yes.
Yeah.
I've even got that ready to play.
Nice.
You know, I'm looking forward to that. And Indivisibles should be dropping this year, hopefully.
I've got a literal weird list of indie games that I'm waiting for, like Into the Breach by the same guys of who did FTL, Faster and Light. Mm-hmm. And it's basically a mecha city production game.
Yes.
It's so cool looking. You can punch them into the water and shit. It's great.
Good to hear. But
We Happy Few, still looking forward to.
I thought that game came out like 2 years ago.
Still in the early access-ish period. But
a bit worried about that one. I just really want it to get released.
It is getting this year.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Been too long.
But lots to look forward to.
Lots to look forward to, just not Metal Gear Survive.
I'm still looking forward to it. But
Don't buy it.
I might do.
Don't buy it.
I might.
Don't buy it, because then they'll go, alright, we'll do Metal Gear Survive 2 and release it immediately. And then you'll have a game series like Destiny.
Okay, but I'm one person. No one else wants it.
One is still bad enough. Because trust me, they are working on an audience. They are literally trying to appeal to an audience of about 100,000. And they want that 100,000. That's the problem.
Okay.
Don't be a part of that 100,000.
I will be part of the 1.
1% is still damaging, unfortunately. That's why we still have microtransactions.
That's why I'm buying it pre-owned.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Then. Oh, that's fine. No issue then. Right. Moving on to our main 2 topics. And we just got trailers this time, because we are going to keep things different on this podcast. And the first trailer we're going to be talking about is The Cured.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to lie, guys. The only reason we're talking about this trailer is because I know Ace doesn't like Ellen Page.
Oh, I knew it. I knew that was the reason.
If it wasn't for that fact, I wouldn't have even bothered with this trailer.
I knew that was the reason. I watched the trailer, I was like, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. But her annoying face.
Her mopey face.
Yeah, annoying face. Like, oh.
And I mean, besides, I ain't seen her in a while. I mean, I'm not as opposed to her as Ace has clearly just demonstrated. But yeah, I mean, this is a film I just so happened to see, and I mean, it's trying to be a new zombie take, and it's trying to do something new. But the problem is, the girl with all the gifts, warm bodies, and even iZombie has already done what this series is kind of trying to attempt to do. And besides, Day of the Dead, the 1985 version, basically did it the best.
And Land of the Dead kind of did this idea
as well.
too.
Yeah. So basically, it's an overdramatic ripoff, and it's unoriginal.
Yeah.
What I really wanted to talk about it, other than the fact that Ellen Page is in it, is that this trailer's hilarious.
Oh, it was so bad.
The sped up footage of the man freaking out was just like, why you do that?
I saw that bit at like 7 a.m. so I wasn't sure if that was my eyes playing tricks on me or not.
Oh, the continuous like cuts to black as a man punches himself in the face.
Yeah, I weren't sure. I couldn't tell.
It's like, you can't take that seriously. I mean, I understand he's like having issues being a zombie in that, but it's like, he's having a bad day, guys, leave him alone. But like, that's too funny. And the stupid jump scared cut to black, it's just that's not tense, that's not scary, it's just stupid to me, because all you've done is you've just taken the same clip and just cut it in between a little black space. It doesn't evoke anything other than irritation. Yeah,
exactly. It's frustrating.
It's just a series that's taking itself way too seriously, and I mean, it looks like it's, oh man, they're not like us. We've got to stick together. And also the trailer just spoils the whole film.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to know that. Actually, well, not that I'm going to sit down and watch this film, but it would have been nice for anyone watching this film to go, oh man, the zombies are going to start some kind of revolution or something like that, and they're going to attack people.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. I mean, I've watched Football Factory. I mean, can't beat Football Factory. So, yeah.
The weird thing is, okay, so I'm going to talk about 2 points. One, Ellen Page, and two, the other thing.
Okay.
So, Ellen Page, I've seen her in one film that I liked her in.
Juno.
Super.
Okay, Super, yeah.
I don't like Juno. I can't stand that film. That's what made me start disliking her.
Oh, but the hamburger phone.
I don't care. That's the only good thing.
It's my favorite part of Juno. Do you remember Juno? And she had a phone that was a hamburger?
No. But every time I see her pop up, her face looks like she's constantly constipated. And she sounds like a squeaky toy. And it frustrates me. It's like, there are good female actors out there. Get them.
I don't mind the squeakiness of her voice.
I've heard better.
Luckily, she's small, so she can kind of get away with it. Because usually, I wouldn't want a tall woman with a voice like that. I'd be like, no, thank you, ma'am.
But it's like, there are people with squeakier voices that sound better to me. But like, I don't have a problem with her as a person. So this is very direct issues.
So it's a direct attack on Ellen Page.
Yeah. So if people are going to get pissed with me, that I understand.
Yeah.
But the second point, the whole zombie revolution, are these zombies being like an allegory for an oppressed class? Because if so, that's fucked up.
I mean...
Because they're literally undead brain eaters, and if you're saying that that's an oppressed underclass, you got some issues.
That's what they are heavily implying, I think, given some of the shots, but I'm guessing the director whoever wrote this is kind of going, man, this is a really smart idea.
Yeah.
Can you see the symbolism? Can you get the reference?
It's,
I'm very. I mean, I don't. If you want to make a political statement in some kind of media, that's fine as long as you do it smart. I see a lot of people definitely trying to go on the whole current situation with politics and just it's too overt.
Yeah, or at least make your metaphor make sense.
Yeah, don't just go, man, Trump is bad.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make a series about that. Not unless you're actually going to actually do something. American Horror Story the next season. That's basically the season. Trump is bad. America is evil. Even the Purge prequel sequel film is basically that.
I'm still hyped for that. Like, the Purge is my what's the term?
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah, without being guilty. I love those films because of it. They're so on the nose. It's great.
Great mask production.
Yes, exactly.
It's the one thing to take away from those films.
The first Purge Day hat. I want to get that. Wear it to
they'll probably make it
to an alt-right meeting,
or you can just do the stitch-ins.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, obviously the Purge is a weird series because it was like the inception for something like this actually happening. Yeah. So it is odd, and I guess it is fitting at the same time. But you gotta try harder, guys, to do something smarter. Like that. But yeah, it's not really a trailer worth talking about other than it's going to be one of those films that when it finally does come out, you're going to be able to laugh at it just how stupid it is.
If it's a really bad, funny one like Bye Bye Man, I'll talk about it.
It won't be as funny as Bye Bye Man.
I won't talk about it.
Okay.
But something else we will talk about.
Oh, yeah.
The trailer for Disney's Marvel's Phase 3 Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp came out.
The prequel to Infinity War.
Is it? I thought it was coming out after.
Maybe
it is. I don't
even know. No joke, I didn't even know this film existed. I completely forgot.
I did, and I liked the trailer. I thought it was very fun and playful.
I didn't.
Fair enough.
I thought it was extremely underwhelming. And here's the thing, compared to... I found it really boring. I was like,
okay.
You're not really showing me anything here. And compared to the fact that it's going up against the sheer mass hype of Black Panther and Infinity Wars, this film is done.
Yeah, I don't... Compared, it's not going to do that well.
Like, watch all 3 trailers and you tell me which film you want to go see.
Yeah.
You can only see one. Which film is really grabbing you, Ace?
Mandy.
What the hell's Mandy?
Mandy, by Cosmos Planetos, starring...
No, I was only talking about the 3 Marvel films.
No, probably Infinity War out of all of them.
Exactly. This film doesn't stand a chance, and not with this trailer, in my opinion. There is not enough to make... It doesn't look as great as the first one, and it's just really... To me, there's nothing here.
I really liked... I thought the playing about with, like, shrinking stuff was fun.
That's great.
Yeah, that's what I'm there for.
That's cool, but the problem is... That is going to create issues.
In what way?
Why didn't he shrink the building in the first place?
He didn't know.
But he obviously had the technology beforehand.
Yeah, but he didn't know.
I know we wouldn't have had a film if he could have done that, but still, there's going to be a lot of why didn't he do that in the first place?
Maybe he just implemented it later on.
Why didn't he do that before?
He didn't know at the time. He didn't have access.
I don't know about that.
It might explain itself. Like, that's the one thing I will say about the Marvel films. Continuity-wise, they seem to stack up well enough.
But this is something where you need to have we need to understand how the suit works. Okay, I understand it grows and shrinks, and I understand you can make other things grow and shrink, but the problem is, a lesser person is going to go, why didn't they do it in the first place? Why didn't they do this? You could have ended the film right here.
As I say, I think so far they've been smart enough to cover those in the film.
I think so, but like I said, you can very easily create issues with that. The product placement is really annoying in this film once again.
I didn't see any, but that's...
Hello Kitty.
Oh, yeah.
They
had Thomas Tank Engine in the first one.
I know, but still, they had a lot of product placement. Like, what was the ice cream place they were there?
Oh, the one I didn't even realise was real.
Yeah.
Baskin-Robbins.
Baskin-Robbins, and it was like, we were there for way too long for it to be a joke, and it was just like, really? You take, like... Come on now, guys.
The funny thing is, I didn't even know it was a real place. I thought it was a fake place.
But still, it would have been funny if it was a fake place.
Yeah.
You should have just made a parody of it, but no, you're going to product placement. It's annoying. I get it. You're going to use real world items to shrink and big, but it just feels like that scene in particular felt awful, where it was like, because we were there for too long.
I get, yeah.
It should have just been like, in the background, you're fired.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, you know, we were there for like almost 5 minutes, and it was like, ugh. You know, Thomas the Tank Engine bit was funny because obviously a child would have Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah.
What do you think of when you think of wooden blocks,
Yeah.
Thomas? What do you think of when you're doing a high-speed chase? You wouldn't think of Hello Kitty. You know,
well,
I guess
it's a child. A child's
Maybe.
there, I presume. I'm presuming
Let's
like
hope.
Scott Lang's daughter's there.
Let's hope Scott Lang isn't just like, oh man, I got to get rid of my Hello Kitty Pez to take out the bad guys.
You just see Deadpool pop up.
There's just going to be a scene where he's like, should I? Just looking down. I mean, this is a 1 in 50 collectors. I mean, they are
just gets his Yoda one next.
Yeah.
Throw it.
I mean, you know, he debates between his like Kylo Ren toy and his Hello Kitty Pez.
His Ben Swallow.
His Ben Swallow. I don't know. I mean, the detail on the pecs is good.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I might keep it for later.
My Hello Kitty collection would be incomplete if I got rid of this. You know, I think I'm just kind of like, I hope there's no more than that.
I think it's going to make sense contextually.
I hope so. It's just, if they're not smart about it, then there's going to be issues.
Well, I will say the writer is the guy who took over from Edgar Wright in the first one.
Oh, yes, man.
No, funny enough, I actually
he directed, didn't he?
Yeah, I actually read the change, like, between the scripts, and quite a lot of the good moments were his. Like, Edgar Wright's was pretty damn great, I'm not gonna lie. But a lot of the moments I loved in the Ant-Man film was from Peyton Reed.
Yeah, there are great moments in that film, and I think he definitely can make a good film. It's just the problem is, a lot of the things that aren't here and here aren't really grabbing me. And yes, it is very unfair to say compared to Black Panther and Infinity War, yes, more is going on here. I'm not saying the film is going to be bad. All I'm saying is it has no chance of being popular or making its money back.
Comparatively, no.
Yes, of course. I mean, there are great moments, but I still like. I do like the fact that they are incorporating more action, more heist, more fight scenes, which are desperately missed from the first film. I do like that we're using the shrinking and getting bigger at, to much smarter things. Like, though I rip on, shrinking the building, that's a great concept. Shrinking the car and making it big. That's great, I do like that kind of stuff, but there are other things that I'm not digging, like the main villain, person in mask.
I didn't see the person.
That's the main villain, apparently. Just some person in mask who's supposedly going to be one villain, but actually going to turn out to be another villain, knowing Marvel.
It'll make sense, I guess.
I mean, they only showed a clip of it, so I'm not going to say, worst Marvel character ever. I'm not going to say anything. That also, I don't like Wasp's outfit.
I think
where's
it's
the
fine.
yellow? I need a little bit more yellow.
It's there, like on the chest.
Not in the bland cinematography they use. They really made it dark. I really want that to pop.
Fair do.
Because we need that, because she just looks like Ant-Man otherwise. We need a difference, guys. Some of your costumes looking a bit too similar, guys.
Yeah, there is a problem with that, just overall.
Yeah, like, this is where you can really make it shine. Like, I want Wasp to just kick some ass and you turn around this bright yellow and wings and it's like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah.
I want that, and it's my nitpicks are really just more like, I want a better film.
Fair do. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun.
This is probably going to be a DVD watch for me.
Fair enough.
But I'm still interested to some extent. I'm just hoping that we're just seeing a disappointing trailer.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is for me. That's what it was for me, excuse me. But yeah, and that's pretty much going to wrap up the pod. We don't have a discussion.
Yeah.
Because Ferret's not here, and he was going to handle the discussion. So there's no discussion.
God damn it, Ferret.
So we're going to move straight on to the video of the episode, and that is going to be Kayla Uchi. I have no idea how you say her name. So many people have said it differently. With After the Storm featuring Tyler, the Creator, and Bootsy Collins.
Yes.
I think coming off her next album, and this is a fantastic track, which I'm really loving. I think, as Ferret put it when I sent it to him, it's I'm gonna keep this song for the summer.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
I agree.
Fantastic music video. It's a really groovy and funky track. If you definitely like Flower Boy, definitely jump on this track as well, because there might be a little production coming from there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, really in a good video as well. I really like, very comedic and
really cool,
very weird in some sense. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap up the podcast. Ace, where can we find you if you want to continue the chatting? And so
you can find me at Ace Enigma, being capital ACE capital ENIGMA, where you can tell me that my opinions are great and yours are trash.
Yes. So if you're a fan of that, also if you want to come argue with me about Darling in the Franxx, you can follow me at the Angry Raccoon, just with one C in the raccoon, and we can chat there. We'll keep you updated on all the stuff that's happening on the channels and such. And our Twitter links are going to be in the description of the video link, as well as a download link of the podcast, which is going to be uploaded on Twitter. So you have a plethora of ways in order to follow and subscribe. And also, you might as well subscribe to the channel if you're listening on YouTube. You might as well. Like I said, if you want to hear me talk more about Darling in the Franxx, then you can definitely do so. And also, if you do want to email us directly, I mean, you can do it on Twitter as well. If you just really have a burning question that needs to be brought up and discussed on the podcast, hit us up, raccoonplusfriends@gmail.com. Hit us up there. All of that information is going to be in the description of the video link and download link and all that good stuff. Anything else you'd like to add to this podcast, Ace, before we wrap it up?
I think that's all at the moment.
Cool. I mean, I'm going to be gone for a little bit. I'm going to be leaving you in the safe hands of Ferret and Ace.
Yeah.
So no funny business now.
Oh man, the next podcast, it's going to be an art house show.
As long as the podcast is made, I'll say that much. So definitely got extra planning, remember, because I ain't doing nothing.
Fair enough.
Simply put, I won't be there. I'll be there in spirit though.
Okay.
I'll be like your stand.
Yeah, you'll be watching if we do something wrong. Just pow.
Basically, yeah.
Smack. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'll end this podcast like I always do by saying I am the Angry Raccoon.
I am Ace.
And you'll see him on the next podcast. Yeah. You know, I know that's a bit abrupt, but yeah. You'll see him on the next podcast. I was the Angry Raccoon.
I am Ace.
And we'll catch you later, guys.